MagSafe is back, but now for your iPhone instead of just your Mac. I'm Beth Motter here with Jason Cipriani. Jason, this has come out now with Apple 12. Apple's kind of thrown their hat into this external battery pack issue. There are several others that have already existed. This is not a new concept, but Apple is making its way into the market and it seems to be making a little bit of traction now. Before we get into some of those other external battery packs, let's go ahead and just talk about Apple's new MagSafe. Let's see how it works, what it does, what you like, what you don't like about it. And then we're going to go through what other options there are for people who maybe aren't running an iPhone.
Yeah, so MagSafe launched or made its re-debut with iPhone 12, and it's basically a circle of magnets that are inside the back of an iPhone 12, any of the iPhone 12 models. And you can, attach a case, or a case works with it. There's a external wallet that works with it, so it basically holds your wallet in place. You can also charge wirelessly with this magnetic connection. And Apple traditionally has released a smart battery case for its iPhone lineup as a way of extending the battery life on your phone. And it's had additional features which, show you the battery level of both your iPhone and the case on the home screen of your phone, or charges, or when you attach the case, it would charge or deplete the case first and then your phone second to extend your battery life. And so rumors swirled that Apple was working on a MagSafe battery pack. And like you said, it recently launched. It is right here. It's white. That is the only color it comes in. And as you can see, it has the MagSafe circle on it. That's where those magnets live. And it works with only the iPhone 12 lineup. So it attaches magnetically to the back. And once it does, it automatically starts charging and you see a fancy animation on the front of the phone. Now, this battery pack is $99 and I'll just be upfront, it's the most expensive out of the lot that I'm going to talk about today. And that's almost by double. The next closest is $65. So let's cover some of the basic specs first. There's 11.13 watt hours worth of charge in this battery pack, which is just a little bit more than that's in the iPhone 12 and 12 Pro itself. On the back of the pack, it's listed at 1,460 milliamp hours, which is exactly half of the iPhone 12. But I'm not going to get into the math and the weeds of volts and amps and all this other stuff. But basically, what you should expect out of this is about 60 or 70% of a charge from a dead, completely drained iPhone 12 model. So it's not going to get you back to a full charge, but it's not meant to. It's only meant to be there when you need it. And you can see the batteries or the magnets are really strong and extend the battery life to get you through a day if you're traveling or whatnot. But just like the smart battery cases that we had for iPhone 11 and previous, there are some smart features to this pack that make it kind of interesting. And I honestly think they should have called it the Smart MagSafe Battery Pack or MagSafe Smart Battery Pack or whatever. And specifically, that is when it's attached to your phone, it's wirelessly charging at 5 watts, which is low. But again, this is only for your phone to sip on and extend your battery life. But if you plug the battery pack itself into a lightning cable, which it does have a lightning port on the bottom, as well as an indicator light there, it will charge the phone, and the phone's attached, it will charge the phone first and then the battery pack. That's if you have like a standard wall adapter. If you have a 20-watt wall adapter plugged in, you could actually plug in the phone, and the MagSafe charger will charge at the same exact time, which means the iPhone 12 is reverse wirelessly charging the battery pack, which is the first time Apple has rolled out that feature. And they're using it to test reverse wireless charging on a wider scale, possibly in the next iPhone 12s or 13 or whatever it is in September. You do have all the fancy stuff that shows you battery life and how much longer you're expected. There's smart battery optimization. So when the pack's on, it'll hold your phone at 90% instead of 100%, because holding your phone at 100% over a prolonged amount of time could actually be bad for your battery. I think that's pretty much all the smart stuff that this pack does, but you're paying that Apple tax and a premium for a $99 phone or a $99 battery pack.
Yeah, and I'm assuming, and correct me if I'm wrong, this MagSafe just works for iPhone. It's not going to work for an Android or something?
Right. I mean, in theory, because it's Qi wireless charging, it's the same
Hmm.
standard that all wireless charging, basically, in all Android devices and whatnot, have standardized on. It will work. And actually, before we started recording, I held it up to the back of a Pixel 5, and then there's no magnets there to hold it in place. So if you line it up just
Right.
right, it does charge, but you're
Okay.
going to bump it off. You can
Yeah.
set your AirPods case, your wireless charging AirPods case in that circle that I showed you, and it will charge those if you're going to leave it stationary. It does work for that if you need to quickly top them off. But no, it's not even
Okay.
just iPhone, it's iPhone 12 specific.
Right. True. You did say that. So one thing to keep in mind going forward, if you adopt into the Apple lineup or you upgrade, it appears that this will be something that iPhone 12 or newer will work for. But so if this works for an iPhone, if I have an Android, what am I going to use? What other options are out there? You've said they're cheaper, so tell me about them.
Yeah, so these have kind of the same approach. They're made specifically for iPhone 12. Again, you could set stuff on them and use them kind of as a wireless charging pad, but they're not designed specifically for Android. So why don't we start with the least expensive out of the bunch, which also happens to be the largest battery pack out of the bunch. And this one is Hyper's magnetic wireless battery pack. Again, you could see the circle there. That's how you know it's MagSafe. It uses USB-C to charge. It has a power button with indicator lights on it to show you how charged the battery is. That's about halfway. This has a pretty hefty capacity at 5,000 milliamp hours, which is pretty standard for all the packs I'm going to talk about today. That's 18.5 watt hours for those who are interested in that. As I said, it's USB-C to charge it. You don't get any of those fancy features though. Once it's attached to the phone, because I turned it on, it'll show you that it's charging through MagSafe, but that's kind of where you're left at with it. It doesn't do anything else like the smart battery optimization when it's charging. It charges at 5 watts, 7.5 watts if you're charging the pack and the phone at the same time. So you connect a USB-C cable to the pack, it'll pass through at 7.5 watts. So you're getting that high-end wireless charging speed on the iPhone, but you're not getting all of it. And like I said, it's by far the biggest battery pack in the group that
Mhm.
I have been testing. It's $40 though, so it's also the cheapest. You're
Yeah.
trading some heftiness for the price, and
Mhm.
it too, magnets are pretty good, right? It's going to stay
Mhm.
on. It does slide a little bit more than Apple's, but it's still, it's held in there. Let me go on to the next one. Let's see. We have two of them that are $50. So I'll start with popular brand Anchor. They're known for producing high quality yet affordable accessories, chargers, cases, all that stuff, cables. Again, USB-C with the power button on the bottom. That's one thing about these extra battery packs that aren't Apple's. As you saw, I placed it on, it automatically started charging. All of these you have to remember to power them on. So
Mhm.
it's kind of thick-ish.
Mhm.
Once I hit the power button, it turns on. Like I said, $50. You're looking at 18.5 watt hours, 5,000 milliamp hours. And again, you get 5 watt charging. Now, here's something. The Anchor website said that it doesn't support pass-through charging. Amazon listing says it does support pass-through charging. My testing has shown that you can indeed charge the battery pack and your phone at the same time using pass-through charging. So I'm not sure why the Anchor site doesn't list it as a capability, but it does
Mhm.
work. I've tested it. I used
Okay.
it yesterday
Mhm.
myself. Not sure why there's a discrepancy there. Mophie is the only battery pack out of the group that has a non-plastic cover. This is actually fabric. I know it's kind of hard to tell. I don't know if you can see it,
Mm.
but it's
Mhm.
actually a fabric. And it's the tallest. It's slim, right? But
Mhm.
it's tall. It's very long. If you put it on the iPhone 12, look, it almost takes up the whole back.
Oh,
iPhone
yeah.
mini, there's actually a disclaimer on the website that it hangs over a few millimeters on the bottom and it's going to stick out. So there's a reason for that though, and that's because Mophie includes a magnetic ring in the package along with the template. And based on what type of iPhone model you have, that ring using the template can be attached to your phone, meaning you can use this battery pack. Even though it's built into the iPhone 12, they've come up with a workaround. And it's actually an entire accessory lineup. They have cases and other stuff that goes along with it that you can attach, all that stuff to a non-iPhone 12 model. It's their own, they
Mhm.
call it Snap Plus. So instead of MagSafe, they've built Snap Plus for older
Mhm.
iPhone models, which is pretty smart. But as
Mhm.
far as the Snap Plus Juice Pack Mini, which is a fun name to say a few times. We're looking at, again, the standard 18.5 watt hours, 5,000 milliamp hours, USB C. You have 7.5 watt wireless charging when it's connected to your phone, 12 watts when it's plugged in, but the iPhones max out at 10 watts. So we don't really care about the 12 watts. I mean, it's nice to have, of course. Again, you can use this with other devices using that magnetic ring. And also, and I didn't mention this about Anchor, this USB-C port, if you were to just turn on the pack and connect this to, say, you needed to charge your iPad or top off a different device, you can actually use this as an external battery pack. It doesn't only wireless charge, so there's a little
Okay.
extra functionality there
Mhm.
as well. That's $50. So
Okay.
not too bad, especially if you have an older iPhone and you kind of want to take advantage of the MagSafe stuff. Check into the Snap Plus lineup from Mophie. It's pretty cool. The smallest battery pack out of the group comes from a company that I have no clue how to pronounce its name. I am going to butcher it. It's OISLE, Isle Oil. I don't know. I'm really sorry. I tried it. I looked it up. I did everything I could to figure out how to pronounce it. I don't know. So
I like the
this thing's,
honesty.
yeah, I'm just being honest. This thing is tiny. It has a 4,225 milliamp hour battery in it. It is charged by USB-C. The power button, and then it has an indicator light there to let you know. It does support pass-through charging. And look, I mean, it's small. It takes up very little
Yeah.
room on the back of your
Mhm.
phone. And you're going to get probably a solid, one recharge out of this before you have to charge the battery pack. And I don't know if I said
Okay.
it, but it does support pass-through charging. This one is $65, and I think it's because they miniaturized the tech that goes into it a little bit. I'm not sure. I really haven't heard of this brand before, and they reached out a few weeks ago, and it was really good timing on their part. And so far, I've enjoyed using that battery pack,
Mhm.
and that's it. So I looked around quite a bit. There's a lot of no-name brands with $20 MagSafe battery packs on Amazon. I don't
Mhm.
know if I would trust those, but I haven't tried them, so I can't say for sure. I would spend a little bit more at least to get the Hyper battery pack at a minimum. But if
Mhm.
you really want to stay within Apple's ecosystem and get the full features and battery preservation and all that stuff,
Mhm.
Apple's MagSafe battery pack is the way to go, even though you're paying $100 for it.
Yeah, so I guess what it comes down to is do you need first of all, do you have the iPhone 12 and you can capitalize on the MagSafe option? And then do you need those top of the line features? Because not some people do, some people really want them, and then other people don't need them and they can live without them. So it really always comes down to personal preference. So, Jason, thank you so much. And to make it easy for you guys, we have all of these linked right down below. Go ahead and check them out. If you are running one of these battery packs, go ahead and drop us a comment, let us know. Or if you're using something that one of those maybe $20 ones that Jason mentioned you could get from Amazon. Does it work? Does it not work? We would love to know. And if it works, we might have to try it out ourselves. So, as always, be sure to like this video, drop us a comment, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and be sure to stick with ZDNet for all things tech.